Well, the old drama continues, and I think there's a large contingent of the Turner syndrome community that has trouble accepting life on life's terms. And I'm going to show you some things that have helped me, and maybe this might help a naysayer. Maybe help a naysayer to kind of reflect. It's a real trying time because when things don't go your way, and things don't go my way, I can get into resentment. And there's also read about somebody that's just really upset about the whole condition, situation, in coronavirus in her community. And you know what? Some days we just have to learn that we're powerless over people, places, and things. Whatever those people, places, and things may look, whatever the incarnation or the genesis of that situation looks like, we have to just sometimes admit that we're powerless. And when we can do that, we can save ourselves a lot of grief, a lot of burned out gaskets. And I also think for other butterflies, the concern I would have as a supportive brother, if a butterfly is sitting there in resentment, that's going to do a number to their immunity. And that's going to make them a little more at risk for whatever's going around, not just the coronavirus. I mean, there's just a lot of things that we're just powerless over. And some members are powerless over the fact there's an outsider that likes to support butterflies. And I'm going to defer to the Alcoholics Big Book. One of the original founders was named by Dr. Bob. And there's an old story called Dr. Bob's Nightmare. But he has some really great pearls of wisdom. So let's go ahead and look at the text together. Okay, I'm going to turn it on its sides. Okay, and of course, sorry about that. And acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I am disturbed, it's because I find some person, place, or thing, or situation, or some fact of my life unacceptable to me. And I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, or thing, or situation being exactly the way it's supposed to be at this moment. Nothing, absolutely nothing, happened in God's world by mistake. Until I can accept my alcoholism, I cannot stay sober. Unless I can accept life completely on life's term, I could not be happy. I need to concentrate not so much on what needs to be changed in the world, and what needs to be changed in me and my attitudes. And I think the same thing, and I could substitute, accept my alcoholism, accept the things that are just tearing me up emotionally. The things that I have absolutely no control over. The things that I could really burn out a gasket over and really get depressed and really get anxious. And then I think this could just, this could actually describe a naysayer. One of the original founding fathers of AA also wrote, and Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage, and the men and women are merely players. He forgot to mention I was the chief critic. I will always be able to see the flaw in every person, every situation. I was always glad to point out because I knew you wanted perfection, just as I did. AA and acceptance taught me there's a bit of good in the worst in all of us, a bit of bad in the best of us, and we're all children of God, and we have a right to be here. When I complain about me or about you, I'm complaining about God's handiwork. And I'm saying that I know better than God. Acceptance is the answer. And I've been, and maybe not a butterfly, but I can certainly offer experience, strength, and hope. And a lot of butterflies, it's a thanks mark. I could burn out in my gasket. I could fly off the handle. And one thing I've learned, that the more I try to control things, the more chaos I create for myself. And I think if some of the naysayers would really step back and really look at what they're doing, it's like, good night, am I making an absolute idiot of myself? I mean, when I'm not saying anybody else is the idiot, but when somebody else is looking at the mirror and seeing how their actions are affecting others, oh, good night, what am I doing? Those are the brave butterflies. The brave butterflies are the ones who learn to accept life on life's terms. The ones who learn to let go, let God. The ones who learn the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change those things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I love a sister in AA. I think she spoke a lot of, she said it many years ago. I think her name was Amy. I don't remember. It just happened to be a meeting in Cleveland. It could be any meeting. But I think her response, I think, should be the motto of many butterflies who are having trouble with the drama, no matter what side you're on. And her words were, Lord, I don't get it, but okay. And I think when the naysayers and the ringleaders can just come to a place saying, Lord, I don't get it. Somehow we got an outsider who's been helpful. I don't get it. But you know what's best. I have no claim to fame. I have no idea what's best. And that's why I learned to let go, let God. And it says that they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. And it says, when it says that they that wait upon the Lord, it means that those who expect the Lord to bring things to fruition. And this analogy may be hard for some women to deal with infertility, but it's the same. And maybe this is a bad analogy, but it's said of some that they are expecting. Or maybe it's kind of, if that's a little too triggering, and if it is, my apologies. I've worked hard and I've gone to the interviews and I'm expecting a job offer. I'm waiting. It's kind of like I've applied to these schools and I'm expecting to hear from the admissions office. They that wait upon the Lord, those that expect on the Lord to come through, will renew their strength. Well, naysayers, acceptance is the answer. I mean, you could get into, I'll show you. The more you do, and the more you step, and if you take a chance to step back, that's pretty foolish. And then again, the brave butterflies are the ones that go, what am I doing? This is nuts. maybe the way I'm behaving is not such a hot idea. So, in the game of life, you get a third of things your way, the other third you don't, and the other third you have to compromise. Welcome to the real world, and don't let your condition define you.